Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, there you go.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we return, we've got some signings still to discuss, free agents to discuss, maybe a new coach in Dallas, plenty more when we return to Real Kipper and Bourne. Justin Bourne, Nick Kiprios, Sammy McKee. Vancouver Canucks closing in on an extension with goaltender Thatcher Demko. What do we know about it?
By the way, you know it's a good news day. Conversation when the mics go off and it's just like still ripping everything.
Oh.
Yeah, that was some good conversation.
Are we surprised at this? Are we not? He's coming off a very tough season with injuries.
Yeah. I am surprised.
What do you anticipate here?
Well, I wonder how short the deal is. Like, if you're Vancouver, you certainly wouldn't feel comfortable giving him a very long extension, would you? You also have a couple goalies you like behind him.
If you're Demko, aren't you trying to hit a 7 or 8 year deal?
Oh, for sure. But like Lankinen just signed $4.5 million until 2030. So 4.5 Demko's going to make.
So you see a 3 or 4 year deal just to get his career going again?
I'm just like, surely Vancouver's plan is not to spend 14 million in the crease here if he gets 7.5 or whatever.
But if this guy's remotely healthy, if he gets off to a decent start in October, November, doesn't he shoot right up towards Connor Hellebuck area?
Good Demko's as good as anyone in the league for me. But
why would he take the safe bet now?
Well, he shouldn't. With his injuries, he should just be as long as possible. But I guess what I'm wondering is, what is Vancouver's plan? If he's an 8-year deal, Lankinen's 4.5. Shilov's is like the guy in the American League.
Yeah, he was the MVP of the AHL playoffs.
Just won the Calder Cup again. Like,
yeah.
I guess you trade Shilov's and you commit to these guys, and my math was terrible on that, but like $12 million for the 2 goalies. Is that okay? I guess Bobrovsky makes 10. They're doing okay.
Yeah, but that's one really good guy.
And that's a guy that never gets hurt.
Never gets hurt. He plays every game.
But it's Frank Saravelli's report. Daily Faceoff was the first to report this. I just wanted to make sure that we gave Frank his just due here. Mm-hmm. I don't know the real benefit. I get it for Vancouver. They just want to cover themselves, but it'd be a heck of a gamble on their part to lock him in for 7 or 8 years here with
unless you think it's like
big number.
You're protected by insurance. You know, you feel like if he's hurt, then we don't pay him anyway, and if he's healthy, we like him.
Yeah.
So what is Vancouver? They're attempting to be good to convince Quinn Hughes to stay.
I think
that's like
so.
the plan, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know what they're going to look like.
It's tough because like people have been changing teams here. It's starting to feel like if your team hasn't done something yet, that you'd be a little nervous, right? Because UFA crop's not amazing. Marchand, Ehlers.
Yeah.
You know, there's only a few names out there that you want.
Also talk of still not letting go completely of Brock Besser.
Oh, really?
In Vancouver. That they'd still, like, in a perfect world, to try to get him signed. I just don't know if they're going to have the numbers deep enough that other teams may go. I heard the Leafs have interest in him. Minnesota, of course. There's a number of teams that have. Edmonton wants Brock Besser.
Talk about nightmare fuel for Canucks fans. Fan favorite guy that was like slighted at the deadline and then ends up with their divisional rival and lights it up with the Oilers.
Legit 30-goal scorer.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, especially playing with a couple of those centers there, like he could really, 2 of the best passers of all time, passing it to him. He could shoot
I'll
in the
just
net.
say I'd be, yes. Like Besser, you're right. In a position like that, he needs to go to a good spot for him. Yeah. I don't feel like he can drive your team's offense.
He's so much like Toffoli to me.
Totally.
He's so much like Toffoli in his prime.
Yeah.
Whereas like a complimentary winger that can fire to the net from anywhere, but can't really drive. Drive the play.
Which, you know, we've seen guys like Carter Verhaeghe or Rodriguez or some of those guys. They can help.
As a reminder, this hour of Real Kipper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Also, Claude Giroux signing with the Ottawa Senators, a 1-year deal. Yeah, this one struggled here. I think they were looking for the old Corey Perry type of contract. They settled in at $2 million, though.
Could earn up to 4.75 if he has a good enough year.
Games played or
Games
points?
played.
Yeah. So that'll be an interesting one. I like that. I like Giroux. I like that he's in Ottawa. He seems content there. Lots going on around the league.
We didn't talk about the draft.
Oh, you guys want to do that, or should we go on with?
No, let's just stick with. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll save that towards the latter part of the show when we absolutely have exhausted everything.
Yeah, it was lean.
Okay, stop it.
All right.
Stop it.
Gulletson.
Ehlers.
Oh, Ehlers.
Ehlers.
All right, what do you got on Ehlers?
I think he made up his mind a while ago that he just does not want to finish his career in Winnipeg. So LA, Carolina, and I think Chicago is the third one I heard.
I want to ask you about Marner in LA. That seems to be, is that spot number 2?
They're under a ton of pressure to find a way to beat Edmonton.
LA
Put it that
needs
way.
some dynamic players. So Marner or Ehlers, sure.
Yes,
But
and Brock Besser, like they need goal scoring. They need help. I think if Marner finds himself still open July 1st at, 12 noon? Why wouldn't you listen to everything?
there was
and
a
everything.
report, I believe, from LeBrun.
Yeah.
So that LA was looking to fly out July 1st, meet with Marner on July 2nd.
Yeah.
That this Vegas news might change that, but they are a team that has
Yeah.
serious
Yeah.
interest in Marner.
The only thing is to Sammy's point, I think between the state of New York and California, it doesn't bode well for tax dollars.
Not a fact.
No, it does.
Well, no, the commissioner says it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Not a fact.
I'd like to remind people that I mentioned to the commissioner on this show, too. Do you remember the answer?
Yeah, he stopped. He just stopped. Anything you challenge him on that has a bit of value that people talk about, he immediately gets defensive and he starts turning it. It's like, there's something here.
Okay, I'm sorry I mentioned that.
Aaron Ekblad just signed for
California has
for
tough state
$6
tax.
in a bag of peanuts for 8 years. It's like, oh, that's fine. No problem. Sorry.
All right.
What else?
We got Gulletson going back
Yes,
to Dallas.
going back to Dallas.
I mean,
I've seen this scenario before.
That good.
No, it's just like you get rid of the perception is that Peter DeBoer was a hard ass and that we're going to bring in someone else that's more player friendly. Does it work? Does it not work? I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But
these are the type of bets, were I an owner hiring a GM or a coach, that I would make on a guy who has been a head coach multiple times. He's spent 2 years in Calgary, 2 years in Dallas.
Yeah.
Above 500 in all places, made playoffs once. And has been an assistant coach on a team that's been in the Cup final the last couple of years. I think
7 years in Edmonton.
that's a pretty good resume for a guy who's been around the league and has an idea of what he wants to be. It's funny because when we were in our group chat talking about DeBoer and his success, and all he does is take teams, go back and look at the start of his career in Gulletson's, and it's like, yeah, DeBoer made the playoffs once in his first 7 years. These guys are like defensemen. Sometimes it takes a minute to find their voice and know who they are, so I like the bet.
I mean, look at the learning curve of Paul Maurice over his career.
Great example.
And once upon a time, he was the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and like, nobody looked at him twice.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's regarded as one of the best coaches in the history of the game.
It is funny that he was a Leafs coach. It's like,
Right? And in Winnipeg, of course, he had much more success.
Also the
and he
coach
was-
of the Marlies for